ladies and gentlemen. My topic today is connecting for all school and students. I'm going to focus on the endeavors of China. They're trying to use ICT, including satellite and internet, to bring the education equality to the entire country of China. So this is outline of my my talk today. Firstly, I'm briefly introduce the status of inequality in China. As a very big country, the inequality of China is very severe. This is why we are trying to use the ICT to bring the education resources to, especially to the undeveloped areas of the country. So this is the second part of my talk, endeavors from the early 1990s and until now, what we are doing to bring the education resources to the undeveloped areas. And firstly, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of the status of inequality. This is a brief picture of the of China, the map of China, and as you can see from this map, the area in east and especially in east is very developed. Cities and areas, but still we have a very big percentage of undeveloped areas, especially in the middle and the east areas. And as you can see from these pictures, this is the schools in developed areas, especially east part of the China. And you can see the facilities in the classroom. Students can get access to internet with their mobile devices in lots of schools. And the facilities is well equipped in this in the schools in the developed areas, but still we have lots of undeveloped schools in west and mountain areas, like pictures in the right part. Students can barely have access to the learning resources, and the equipment of the classroom is very short of supply. So a brief conclusion of the inequality in China, that there are still lots of areas of undeveloped countries, undeveloped areas. They are short of good resources, especially the harsh condition, life conditions cannot keep good teachers to work in these areas. So this is a very big problems in the undeveloped areas, short of lack of good teachers, lack of good educational resources, and also in undeveloped countries, there are lots of so-called left behind children because their parents going to other big cities and areas to get a job, and left their children at home, and their life conditions as well as school conditions are not good for them. So this is basically the status, the inequality of education in China. And given these severe conditions in China, we have our country initiated several projects to trying to improve the education equality in entire country. So this is basically the roadmap of our initiatives to promote education equality, and as a red part in this map showed that actually our education equality initiatives can go back to early 1999, and after that we have at least 3 national projects of the title, the name of the project is first one is Distance Education Project Phase 1, and second one is Distance Education Phase 2, and third one is a synchronous classroom project. And I'm going through these projects in next slides. The first one started from actually pilot of the first project started from 1999, and after the pilot of several years, the official distance education project started from 2003, and it lasted several years to equip the basic education facilities for the remote areas. The project basically targets to the problems of inequality in China, as I mentioned before, lack of qualified teachers, lack of the qualified teaching, and lack of qualified learning resources in these remote areas. And the goal of the project is to bring the good learning resources to these remote areas, and these are the original goals of this project, and there are some goals of how many schools need to be covered, how many students need to be benefited in this project, and I haven't got enough time to go through all details, but this is can give you an impression how big that this the undeveloped areas of schools and students was going to be benefited from this project. And the significance of this project is bring the to fill the digital gap from the developed and undeveloped areas of the country. And back then, this project, the coverage of this project is mostly invest of the project is basically in the hardware of the facilities, and besides also there are some software investment and the teacher training investment. Actually, my own role in this project and the role of my university I have played in this project is basically teacher training and applications of how to use these resources in these areas, in these schools. And as you can see from this slide, the technology plan in the distance education is use IP digital satellite broadcast technology to make digital environment available to the K-12 schools in the large countryside and the outlier remote areas. And because the conditions is all so different in these countries, so in this project we have 3 different models. We call Model 1, Model 2, and Model 3. And in first model, Model 1 actually focused on the so-called teaching spot, which means the school is not completed, have not completed grades, maybe only several kids from different grade, and it's not basically it's not a complete school. And for this kind of schools, we use Model 1 to bring them the basic resources, and for the complete elementary school, primary school, we use Model 2, and for middle school, we use Model 3. And Model 2 is Model 3 is more advanced, use more advanced technology, and here are different facilities for these different models. This is the first model. Model 1 is basically only equipment of CD player, and plus CD player we provide CD room with teaching resources, and this is classroom with Model 1, and this is Model 2 use satellite broadcasting to update the resources for the school. And this is Model 3 use computer classroom, and you can see from the difference from these 3 models. The first one is that the learning resources are limited because it cannot be updated regularly. And the Model 2, we can update the learning resources regularly, use satellite broadcasting. And Model 3, we use computer, internet, and the learning resources can be updated regularly and can have some synchronous discussion or cooperation with different schools. So this is the 3 models. And in order to provide qualified learning resources, we have set up a resource center to design and develop the learning resources for these project schools. And these resources are broadcasted through via satellite, and also can be download from the internet to computers in schools. And the teachers can use IP internet browser to download to update the learning resources. And also we develop a portal of the learning resources, and in these portals, all the 12 subjects of the project can be gathered together, and the form of the learning resources are teaching cases, lesson plans, exercise for students, and related reading materials. And the project teachers can find the resources. If they can access the portal from internet, they can download the learning resources and do and use these resources in their lesson plan. So since there are 3 different models, so the way these resources was used is also different, and you can see from this slide that basically in the first model, the teachers can teach by playing CD, and it's not just play CD, and it also needs teachers to design how to use CD. And in the second and the third models, teachers need to design their lessons by using the learning resources accessed by internet or satellite. I have a case to show how teachers to design their own lesson plans by using these resources. This slide shows the coverage of the project, because of the time limit, I'm not going through details of this slide. This slide shows the student coverage, and this slide shows how teachers use these resources. Basically, the main usage of teachers is to use these resources to prepare their own lesson plans, as shown in this picture. And the purpose of the teachers to using these resources is also to prepare, as the first bar show, the teachers use these resources to prepare their own lesson plan. And here is a case of how the teachers use these resources to prepare their own lessons and teach in their own classroom. In this case, the teacher Ma, is using, this is a Model 1 project, and the teacher, all the resources the teacher have is a CD and CD player, but she is not only play the CD, she's not only push the button of CD player, she actually do a lot to think a lot and think a lot of how to use the CD CD resources, CD room, and design how the CD resources can be used in her own classroom. I only 2 cases, 2 steps of how she used this CD. Firstly, she in her classroom, she need to ask students, teach students how to memorize the character of Chinese character, because the Chinese character is very time consuming to memorize and to write, to remember how to write. So she asked her students to think about their own way the students exchange their own ideas of how they memorize a particular character. And after that, she asked the student to compete with the kids from the television, compete with them to see who are the best to memorize the most character, most word of Chinese word. So from this case, you can see that she is very smart in using the resources of CD into her own class, not only push the play button of the CD player. This is a very small case from the project, first model 1 of the first project, and I need to go quickly to the second project. Second project is actually started recently from 2012. And as I mentioned, that there are lots of undeveloped areas, and also there are lots of areas that parents go outside to have a job and left their children in back home, and these areas are these very disadvantaged areas. And from 2012, a new project named All Areas Coverage to bring the qualified learning opportunities to this learning spot, or to this instructional spot. And this is the technical plan for this spot, and this is a resource building plan for this spot. And I move to this. This is the learning resources plan for this project. And from this slide, you can see that basically the project resource is different from the previous one, because the main form of the resources is web-based, and the learning resources have been packaged with lesson plans, with cases, with exercise, and and as shown in this slide, there are learning resources for teachers, instruction for teachers, and also there are resources for student self-learning. And the teaching spot in this project is also very, very big, as this slide shows that actually we have 67,000 this kind of teaching spot, which means that this is a non-compete school. Maybe only 1 or 2 teachers teach in this school, and maybe several different grade of students gathered in this school. And this kind of school, we call it teaching spot. We have 67,000 of this kind of schools, and the conditions, school conditions, are very, very poor. And because there's only 1 teacher there, so it's not easy for them to teach all of the subjects. So this is justification of the full coverage of this project. Try to provide the teaching resources for this teacher who work solely in this teaching spot, and help them with qualified teaching materials, so that he or she can teach all subjects for the kids in this teaching spot. And here are some cases from this project, like this one. I've been this part of myself, so I really know what the severe conditions there. It's not easy to get there because it's in the top of a mountain, and the road is not easy to drive, and it's very time consuming to get there, and also it's not easy for the teachers and the kids to get down to the city areas. So this is a view of the school, and because of the poor condition, this school once was suspended for several years, but because there are lots of schools there, 50-something of kids there, so it need to be reopened. And there's only one teacher. This is a teacher teach in this school. He and his wife is the only teacher work here. And as I mentioned, that it's not easy for him to teach all of the subjects, especially the subject like the art, the literature, and so the resources of this subject make him can use these resources to teach the subject that originally that he was not able to without these resources. And here are another cases from other areas. I'm not going details in these areas because time limit. Just briefly go through these pictures, and you can have an impression of this project. This is all very poor areas, and one thing I need to mention is that all the resources provided are not just play in the classroom. All teachers, they are with students, and they use the resources to redesign their own classes and teach with the resources provided to them. And this is a new initiated project to also try to promote the education equality. We call it the synchronous connected classrooms. In this project, we basically try to connect, if I may, I can also use parent school and the remote school, use this same terminologies as previous talk. So in this project, we also connected the parent school and the remote school with the internet, with the high-speed internet. And also we are trying to, this is an ongoing project, so we have several different practice going on. Basically, there are one broadcast class, which is a parent class, a parent school, and also we have several, usually one, but sometimes also two remote schools connected. And in this project, we usually broadcast class or parent class is in developed country, in developed areas, and the teacher are high qualified teachers with experienced teachers, and classroom, remote classroom usually have less qualified teachers, or the resources are very limited. So by connecting the parent classrooms, the teachers and the students can get benefit from the parent classrooms. And here is also a case of this project, like this school is in a remote area of Hainan Island, and there's only four or five teachers work in this school, and the resource in this school as well as training opportunities for these teachers are very limited. So the project, the connected, synchronous connected classroom can not only benefit the students in this remote island school, but also benefit the teachers because the work together, the synchronous connected with the teachers together, like this picture showed. It's also a very precious opportunity for teachers to learn how to prepare the lessons, how to use qualified resources to redesign their lesson plans. And I think I have a picture of how, this is a picture of how the connected schools, how the teachers of these project schools are connected to have meeting, have conference calls to discuss how to design the lessons. So this is also benefit the teachers for the remote schools. And also after their conference course, several conference course to discuss how to design the classrooms, they have several pilot classes by connecting, synchronous connecting the parent class and the remote class to teach you with at the same time, with the same schedule, with the same exercise, with the same lesson plans designed by two connected schools. And this is basically the three projects from early 1919 to recently, and from this different project, of course, we have some lessons and some challenges, and I very briefly summarize here, but I don't think I have enough time to go to all details of the lessons and challenges, and because, but I think that we have a panel discussion after presentation, so I'm glad to have more discussion at that point. So as conclusion, I would like to say that as unequal, huge, big countries like China, the education equality is a big goal, and we are keep doing what we can to try to bring the equal opportunities for all students, for all, especially for disadvantaged groups of the students, as a project I talked about, and in this project, the big challenge is not resources, is not the equipment. The big challenge is always the teachers, is always how to facilitate, how to help teachers to smartly use the resources that provided them. So I would like to have more experiment from other countries and have more discussion with all of you. Thank you.